All right, let's look at 2.4, section 2.4, number 19. We're going to find the max or min of 3x squared minus 8x plus 1, and then we'll find the range after the fact. So we learned parabolas. When a is positive, so a is the x squared term, right? It's ax squared plus bx plus c. When a is positive, so we have positive 3 here, it opens upward, and so that will create a minimum at the vertex. And we have formulas for the vertex. So parabolas have this nice feature where, right, that vertex point always makes a max or a min, depending if it opens up or down. So when it opens up, right, that's the lowest point on the curve, and that's why it's called a min. So we know that the vertex is at x equals negative b over 2a. So b is 8, so negative 8, right? One negative from the formula, another negative from the 8. All over 2a. A is 3. So we get positive 8 over 6. We should always simplify if we can, and it'll make the math easier. So we get negative 4/3 when we divide them both by 2. So that's the x value on my vertex. So if I were to graph this, we would go to 4/3, which is a little bit past 1. So it'd be somewhere here, and we just need to find the y value now. All right, 4/3 is a little bit bigger than 1. So to find the y value, we learned that we can plug this value in. So f of negative b over 2a. Or f of 4/3. So we're going to plug in 4/3 for all the x values. So we're going to do 3 times 4/3 squared minus 8 times 4/3 plus 1. All right, let's practice this a little. So 3 times, and then 4 squared is 16. 3 squared is 9. Minus 8 times 4/3 plus 1. If it's helpful, you can write the 3 and the 8 over 1 to help remind you how fractions work. And then we'll go ahead and simplify each fraction, right? Because multiplication comes first, and then we'll do the adding and subtracting. So this one we'll get 3 times 16 is 48 over 9 minus 32 over 3 plus 1. And then we'll need to do LCD to simplify this. So LCD would be 9. So first fraction's good, second fraction times 3, and then last one is 9 over 9. All right, so let's see, we get 48 over 9 as is. 32 times 3, I think is 96, you can check that. 96 over 9, and then we get plus 9 over 9. So we'll get 48, now that we have LCD, we'll go ahead and combine them. 48 minus 96 plus 9. I think 48 minus 96 is negative 48. We can check that. Yeah, and then plus 9, negative 39. Over 9. It's not divisible by 9, so that doesn't work. But maybe we can simplify, we should check. I know 3 goes into 9, right? So let's check if 3 goes into 39. Yeah, so this would be negative 13/3. So our vertex is at positive 4/3 for the x value from above and negative 13/3 for the y value. And this is the min because it opened upward. So if I were to graph this, we have 4/3 is a little bit past 1, right? Because it's 1 1/3. We like improper fractions, so we're going to leave them as is. But maybe for graphing, we think about what it is. 13/3, right, would be 13 divided by 3. I think it would be negative 4 1/3. Right, because 3 goes into 12. Yeah. So that's just to help us graph. Again, we prefer improper fractions. 2, 3, 4. So it'll be a little bit past negative 4. So there's our vertex. And then again, we know that it opens up because A was positive. So I'm just going to sketch it. I don't care about the rest of the graph for the sake of this question. All this question asked was, what's the min? and what's the range, not the graph. So we know that the minimum value is negative 14/3, because min and max we think about up and down, so the min value is negative 13/3. That's the lowest point on the graph, and this will help us find the range. The range is just the y values. So it's the lowest point, negative 13/3, and then the graph just keeps going and going and going, so it goes to infinity. So that would be my range, the y values. If it opened down, it would go down to negative infinity, but that would be when a is negative. But that would be how to find the min and the range on this example.